here's the thing. For everybody listening, don't make the same mistake the Bengals just did in any facet of your life.
People are going to get hurt. It's the hockey season.
What about the Jared Cook play on the sideline?
I was very tempted to just put defense.
I'm saying it right now. If Anthony Davis is out for the playoffs, they don't make it out of the first round.
Come on, Austin and I've been saying this ever since Joe Burrow got injured.
I don't really think the Dodgers are going to make the World Series this year. I feel like they'll make it to the NLCS.
The Fernando Tatis extension, because that really surprised me.
Like you said, Ovechkin, he's getting older. He hasn't been playing as well as I imagined. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time, but he hasn't started off this season as hot as I would hope.
Hi, I'm Jeff Allen, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NFL Opinions of the Week. It's been a while. Just other stuff's been happening with the other sports, so we haven't talked about the NFL. But two things happened. Gronk retiring again, and then Baker Mayfield finally got traded from the Browns, and he's going to Carolina. Which, if I thought he was going to be traded, I thought he was going to go to Seattle more than Carolina, but I thought maybe it makes more sense that Carolina did it because Carolina's been trading picks. They've just been trying to find a successor for Cam Newton ever since Cam Newton left. And one of those attempts to find a successor was Cam Newton again. So, start with Teddy Bridgewater, Sam Darnold. Then it went to Cam Newton, and now we're at Baker in the span of 3 seasons.
Cam played last year, though, right?
Well, yeah, he played last year. Yeah. Cam got cut. Then I think it was Teddy Bridgewater to that big contract. He played a year. Then they traded him to Denver, which would be last year. And they did Sam Darnold and Cam Newton.
Mm-hmm.
And now this is their third year where it looks to be Baker.
Got it.
So, how do you feel about it?
I don't know. It's really going to have to be something that we monitor over the season. Meaning the Browns, needed to trade Baker if they weren't going to play him this season. He deserves that. I'm surprised that it took this long. I really thought that they were going to make the move sooner, but they made it nonetheless. And now the Panthers get a player who I think has been rudely underrated by most of the NFL world. He didn't obviously play well last year, but he was hurt for most of the season. The Browns had a chaotic year. And I think he could be a steal for the Panthers moving forward for only the 5th round pick that they had to trade away.
Well, yeah, I know you and I disagree on Baker, but I'm fine with. I understand why the Carolina made this trade, and I'm not too like a 5th round pick. We had talked about it before. I was like, a 5th round pick makes sense because he is number 1 overall pick, and he did do well his first few years. But the year before, and then last year was injury. So injuries hampered him and just did not play well. If you want to blame it on the injuries or just the way he's turned out, it made sense to me that was a 5th round pick, and given his contract, which the Browns had to keep $10 million. They are still paying him $10 million, and then the Panthers are paying him $5 million because I don't know what the Browns were doing. It was like, you have to trade him, and teams are like, well, I'm not going to give that much up for him if you have to trade him. So that's how it turned out. But I think Baker, I was really high on Baker when he was drafted, but I think he's just gone through so many offensive coordinators that maybe he just hasn't clicked yet. So if it clicks with Carolina, I think that's why they took it. And Matt Rule has been searching for a QB for ever since he got there, as we just went through. So not surprised with the compensation, and I think it makes sense given what I deem his market value right now. So it'll be interesting though how he plays, and if he comes back, but we'll have to see.
In 2020, he had 26 touchdowns, only 8 picks, a passer rating of 95.9. He had a great season. And while many people think that he just fell off this past season, I think the injuries really did him in. He still had more touchdowns than interceptions. I know that's a given nowadays because if you don't, then it's extremely concerning. But he only played 14 games. Cleveland struggled all year, and injuries can really hamper you. And I also feel like the negativity around the locker room surrounding the entire Browns organization after Odell had to get traded and everything else midseason. A lot of stuff went down. I just think he didn't get to play his best football. But I definitely think that Baker could be a really good player for the Panthers moving forward. So I really like this trade, especially for what they had to give up.
Yeah, I think he definitely has the potential. I'm not sure if it works out though. Like I think it is a contract year, so maybe he plays better, but and the injuries as we've talked about, but it seems like Carolina just cycles through quarterbacks, and I'm not sure if Baker is going to be the one that works out. Like I think maybe it's a new staff and then they draft a QB, but I would be surprised if he does all right, then I'm like, okay, but I'm not sure it's going to be someone they're going to want to extend next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think he'll probably still be in the league. Starting job, I'm not sure about.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah, we will. But now we'll move on to Gronk, who retired. Hasn't come out of retirement yet for the second time, but maybe he just takes a year off and then comes back again.
I think he probably comes back this season after during the bye week for the Bucs, so you have that week of practice, and then he can get into stuff. I definitely think that he is not done. I'd be shocked if this was the end of his career. Just feels a little bit weird to me. I just don't buy it. I don't. I think that he really wants to win another championship, but he just knows the work he's going to have to put in. And his body has taken a lot of punishment. Last year, he had plenty of injuries. So I think he's just thinking that if he just plays from the bye week on, that he'll have enough preparation for the playoffs, and then he can go at it again with Tom Brady.
It did seem odd when he retired, but I'm not. If he never comes back, I understand because his body has just been through a lot. You said last year, but just in general, his whole career, he is just the injuries. So I think the grind. He's like, I'm sure he loves the game and he's made lots of money from it, but I think he's kind of just like, I'm kind of tired of putting my body through that again, and he doesn't want to do it. Maybe he does come during the bye week. Not sure. I kind of think he may just relax and then party it up.
Maybe. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think he really wants to come back, but just doesn't want to put his body through what is necessary for him to uh, play an entire season. But we'll see. You know, Gronk is a big personality. He's someone that we definitely don't know always what he's going to do. We'll just have to wait.
Yeah, you've predicted people coming out of retirement before, so we'll see how it works out this time. So now that's all we got. Make sure to check out our new interview with Greg Tepper with Dave Campbell's Texas Football Magazine, TexasFootball.com, and Bally Sports Southwest. It's a really fun interview. Let us know what you think about it, and make sure to check out other videos from Outsiders Opinions.